What is up, guys? It's your boy Paul here, coming at you with another video today. Today what I want to talk to you guys about is your ability to handle pressure. Okay, so if you're watching this channel or this page, this video, it's because you either lead a team, you lead people, you're an entrepreneur, business owner, team manager, sales manager, whatever it is, you lead people in some way, shape, or form. And so today what I want to talk about is your ability to handle pressure and how that affects you moving forward, and your ability to lead your team, lead your company, lead yourself, and everything like that. So after my workout today, I went into the hot tub after I was done stretching, and I kind of just had some time to think to myself. And I was thinking about this idea that, man, whenever we're trying to start something, or whenever we're trying to do something as business owners or as leaders or as managers that's very forward thinking and that's new and that involves risk, man, there's pressure, right? There is pressure all the time. Think about like LeBron James, Michael Jordan. Think about this in the athletic realm as well. Think about anyone who's trying to pioneer something new. When the leader's cutting through the grass and getting his hands dirty and doing all that stuff, there's pressure. There's pressure not only to get it done and to come through, but also to not abandon your people. Because not only are you doing this thing that you said that you set out to, but now you've convinced people to follow you, right? And so there's kind of pressure on both ends, and there's pressure on making sure the thing happens, making sure it works, or doing your best to. And then also it's this idea of supporting the people who are following you in this new endeavor that you're doing, right? And so that just got me to thinking, man, there's a lot of pressure for a lot of leaders nowadays, for a lot of people who are trying to head up certain things. And so that's when then I got into thinking, what are people's processes for handling pressure? Many people, and this is where people get exposed on a lot of things. Many people have bad vices for when it comes to handling pressure. Okay, some people like to drink their sorrows away. Some people hide themselves. Some people just procrastinate big time, and you don't find out until the deadline's there. And okay, boom. A lot of people have some ugly vices when it comes to handling pressure. That way, it gets their mind off of the problem at hand and what they're doing in the magnitude of it. And it allows them to be in a free space. They're like, oh, I'm good. So I want you to think about this as you think about how do you handle the pressures in life? What are your strategies? What are your processes to go about making sure that the pressure doesn't get to you? Because if you're like myself or like any of these other people that are trying to lead things, things are coming at you every day. Right when you think the ship is sailing smooth, the wind's coming, the waves coming, you're like, oh my goodness, what is all this stuff now, right? And so for me, the way I made my schedule is having a 4-hour work block in the morning. I have, and then I go straight to an hour and a half in the afternoon when I work out. And for me, that is one of my best ways that I'm able to think about, deal with, get away from, do the exercise from the work life. And it allows me to process, allows me to think, because I stepped away from it. I then, come back, eat lunch, whatever, and then I go into another block. And then when I do kind of my nighttime routine, allow myself to, read and all that stuff, I allow myself to process the day and everything like that. And so I have allowed escapes within my schedule. Okay, Paul, that's great for you. You've allowed escapes within your schedule. But what about me? I'm not able to cut that off in the middle of the day. So that's what I want to talk about now with your idea of handling pressure and what that could look like. Okay, so the first things first is you need to be able to identify what it is that's causing you pressure. Okay, identify that first thing, and if anyone needs to be involved, you need to bring them in the room, bring them in the thought process as far as what you guys can do to solve the problem. So the first is identify X. What is causing the pressure? The very next question that you have to ask yourself is there anything I can do about it? Okay, is there anything I can do about it? And for some of you guys, this is going to be very, very hard, because if the answer is no, well then my advice to you is drop it, because there's no point in worrying about something that's out of your control. That leads to the dead end road of drop it. If there is, that's when you got to ask yourself, okay, what is required and what can we do? What can we do, and what's the time frame on it? Because here's the thing too, what I'm giving you a formula for is not an equation for how to get rid of pressure. Pressure is a good thing. If you have pressure on you, you're going to perform higher levels, right? Athletes who perform at the highest level have the highest pressure on them. So I think pressure is a good thing. But what I'm talking about is how to process the pressure and how do you go about doing it, because there's a bad way to go about doing it and there's a good way, okay? And it's not always an option to eliminate it, right? So identify it. Can anything be done about it? Yes, no. Okay, if it's yes, okay, what can be done and when and who needs to be involved? And after that point, after you kind of reach the what can be done, who needs to be involved, what next steps do we need to take, boom, right there, make the plan, write out the action steps, and then as far as the pressure goes, you need to attack that thing ferociously until it gets done. And that's pretty much what it is, right? So there will come a point, because there's a deadline for everything. So let's go back to athletics for a second. There's a shot clock, right? In basketball, there's a shot clock. Okay, there's going to be a lot of pressure if it's like fourth quarter, 20 seconds left and the shot clock's at 10 seconds left, but there's 20 seconds left in the game. There's a lot of pressure on. Either way, it's going to be over in 20 seconds. So what happens doesn't really matter, but within that next 10 seconds that's on the shot clock, the key player needs to make the best possible decision and do whatever you can to make the shot. That's essentially what I'm telling you here. When you go through this thought process, when you identify what you can do and who needs to be involved, and you have your deadline, and either way it's going to be done by the end of the deadline, you need to attack it ferociously. And what oftentimes happens is that pressure allows you to perform at higher levels, and things tend to get done that you wouldn't have been able to get done without the pressure, right? But I want to bring this to your attention, because how you handle pressure as a leader, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, as a manager, whatever it is that you do, defines so much of what the people behind you, with their trust with you and their rapport with you. Can you bring them through those pressure situations? Can they count on you? Because as a leader, everyone looks to you. When something goes wrong, boom, pressure. Paul, what are we going to do? Susie, what are we going to do? Joe, what are we going to do? Boom, map out the process, map out. Okay, everyone has their roles. Okay, maybe it's just you. I have my own role. Boom, attack it. Okay, so next time you're in a pressure situation and a lot of pressure comes on you, write out your steps. Identify X. Can I do something about it? Yes or no? Okay, what can be done and what's the deadline? How do I go about doing it? So what can be done? How do I go about doing it? And by when? Okay, so that's the process you need to follow. If nothing can be done, you just got to drop it. Just plain and simply, you just got to drop it. So look, that's today's video, guys. I just wanted to put this message out there very quickly. Just to have, maybe let it be a conversation starter, maybe even help you process whatever issues, whatever pressure it is that you're going through right now. So look, if it helped in any way, shape, or form, leave it down in the comments below. Give it a thumbs up. If you know someone who could use this, maybe you know someone who is in high pressure situations a lot, and you think this process of handling pressure would help them, please send it to them as well. And as always, stay tuned for the next one. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one.